I'm Coco Whit. If this is your first time here, we've been walking through my pregnancy every 4-ish weeks, and as you will see during the bump shot, it's been 10 weeks since I last did a video. And if that's not motherhood for you, I don't know what is. This is my second pregnancy. It is an unexpected pregnancy, but a very welcome one. This is gonna be a super fun video though, because I know the gender of my baby and we're gonna talk about it. First, let's touch base on how I'm feeling and what we're going through. Symptoms wise, this is just so cruel. This is just how life goes, right? In my last video, I mentioned that I had not experienced any of the SPD pelvic pain that I had had during my first pregnancy. I kid you not, I rolled over in the middle of the night, maybe a couple nights after that I took that video, and my pain was back. I could tell just by rolling over. I was like, and there it is. So it's back. It hasn't been as bad as my first pregnancy. I think it's been helpful that we go on walks every single day, and I've been trying to incorporate more movement because in my first pregnancy, because I was in so much pain, I just stopped. I didn't want to exercise. I didn't want to move because it felt like it was aggravating it. So this time I'm trying to be just incorporating more mindful movement to see if that helps. And then on top of that, my sciatic pain is also back. So that's been really fun. It's just, it feels like the first pregnancy all over again. What are you gonna do? Cravings have not really changed. They're basically the same. And I know that's pretty boring, but I also feel like as you get farther along in your pregnancy, those kinds of things just fall to the wayside. I don't know, maybe that's not everybody's experience, but in my experience, it's those early months of pregnancy that you're like, I would give my right arm for a pint of ice cream right now, or a hamburger. And then of course, how am I feeling? How am I processing everything? Hit that point where all of a sudden I realize, like, even though I'm at 27 weeks, I still have 13 weeks to go. And that's like kind of a long time. There's just this point in pregnancy, I feel like, where you're like, this is going so fast. It's flying by. And then you hit another point where it just stalls out and you're like, actually it's not flying by. So I'll take that. I actually need a little more time because I have work to do and a daughter I'm trying to spend time with before she shares me with a sibling, and you know, we're trying to get our house ready for another baby. So there's a lot of factors that make me be like, yeah, actually this can take as long as it needs to. I don't mind. I think in the first pregnancy, I was like, oh gosh, all of a sudden we have so much time. This is not that. I'm actually like totally fine with having more time. I'm thankful. If time just wants to literally slow down, let's do it. Okay, so what's really fun is since the last time we chatted, my husband and I went to the anatomy scan and we found out the gender of the baby. We didn't find out in the room. I just love a surprise. I think if I had like a stronger fortitude, I would actually wait until I had the baby to find out what the gender is, just because I'm like, oh, even a better surprise. How amazing would that be? But I just don't have it. And because this was a surprise pregnancy, I'm like, let's like reel back the surprises just a little bit. Like, we need to prepare in some way, shape, or form, right? So what we did was they put the gender on a little piece of paper in an envelope, and my sister happened to be watching our daughter that day while we were at the anatomy scan. So we came home and I gave her the envelope. I was like, I'll see you this afternoon. So then I actually had to work. I worked, and we then met up later with, not my extended family, but like my parents, my brother, my sister, and her kids. And so she was the only one who knew the gender. And what we did was we brought 2 outfits for my daughter. We brought a blue outfit and we brought a pink outfit. What she did was she took our daughter into another room, changed her little outfit, and then we were all waiting in this separate room for her to like walk out. And it was actually just very adorable because she could tell like something weird was going on. So she was like, so much hesitation, like kind of like leaning into the room. So I couldn't even see her body. I could just see her like waving her hand at us. It was so cute. It was like a really sweet way of like almost like my daughter did the gender reveal for us, but she's She was what, 14 months at the time? If you ever want to try something like that, I'm sure there are like more creative ways to do it, but it was really fun. Now that we've known for 7 weeks, I thought it would be really fun to tell you by going through some of the old wives' tales and measuring out where we score and then telling you what the gender of the baby is. So if you want to go ahead and place your bets now before we even talk about the old wives' tales, place them now. Okay, good. All right. First one is sweet versus salty cravings. And you guys are very familiar with my cravings at this point. What's tricky is I'm both. I'm split down the middle. I'm a pickles, sauerkraut, cheeseburger, also ice cream, donuts, cookies. It truly does feel split down the middle. So for that, we're gonna give a point to both boy and girl. The next one is morning sickness, or if you've ever been pregnant, as you'll know, it's all day, any time of day sickness. I did have this, and mine was actually worse in the afternoon, but yes, I did have nausea basically the whole first trimester, and then thankfully it went away. The next one is my skin breaking out. It's all relative. My skin is not like perfect by any means, but I really don't have a lot of like actual breakouts, and so I would say compared to my norm, yes, I have been breaking out. Also like chest and back I've been noticing, so that is a point for girl. Have I been moody? We've also talked about this. Irritability, emotional, all of that. It comes and goes. It's not like I'm constantly like biting people's heads off by any means, but I definitely feel the feelings more than I do when I'm not pregnant. So I would give myself a point for irritability for sure. That point goes to girl. Heart rate. We talked about this in the last video too, because I was so stumped by this one. They say that any heart rate over 140 is girl, and any heart rate 140 or below is boy. And not a lot of my friends remember their children's heart rates, but the two who I chatted with who do remember, they had boys and they were like in the 120s almost the entire time. Well, we started out with somewhere in the 170 was our first heart rate. Second heart rate was somewhere in the 160s. And then the appointment before my anatomy scan, the heart rate was like 133. And I was like, what? I was so sure based on heart rate that it was a girl, and now I'm questioning everything. So, and again, this is not a tried and true way to guess gender anyway. It just felt like the one that I was kind of fixating on. For that, we're giving a point to both boy and girl again. The old Chinese gender chart. I believe the Mayan calendar that they use for this is also very similar. But essentially, put a finger on the month that you conceived and a finger on the age that you were when you conceived, and you meet in the middle. That was February, age 33, and they met at boy. I think the way that it works is if one is odd and one is even, then that always results in boy. And if both are odd or both are even, they always say that that's a girl. So that is a point for boy. Body temp. Do you run hot or cold? I always run hot, so I don't feel like this is a good indicator for me. However, the weirdest thing is that it's been spring/summer for most of my pregnancy, and I have found myself being like, ooh, it's cold in here, putting on a sweatshirt. Like, and it's the AC, obviously. It's not because I'm outside in the 90-degree heat with 100% humidity feeling cold. So I'm actually not sure if that even counts. But for somebody who is almost always too hot, it's incredibly noticeable to me that I was finding socks to put on and a sweatshirt to put on and maybe longer pants. It's been odd to the point where it felt like it was noticeable. And that is a point for boy. The last one we're gonna go off of is headaches. This feels like actually a really good one for me because I'm not a headaches gal, and I feel very blessed for that. I know that people who are plagued with headaches, much less migraines, like I don't know how you deal with it every single day. Because I rarely have them, I notice them very easily, and I feel like such a baby about them. So I definitely noticed that during this pregnancy, I was finding myself with so many headaches. like almost a daily headache. Now, could this be tied to dehydration? Absolutely it could, but it is still a noticeable thing and it is still a point for boy. So here we are, and we actually have 5 points for girl and 5 points for boy. Can you believe that? It's so wild. And I kind of knew it would be this way because I've felt split down the middle the whole time, but to tally it up and be like, no, you're literally split down the middle is so silly. So all of this to say, my pregnancy has felt in some ways copy paste my first pregnancy with my daughter. However, in other ways, the headaches, the coldness, the heart rate, whatever, those things have actually felt different and noticeably so. So I was fully prepared. I was like, this is a boy, quite sure. Started telling everybody. I was like, this is a boy. I'm almost sure this is a boy. Telling my husband, he wanted to have another girl. I mean, we would have been happy either way. I want to make that very clear. But my husband wanted another girl. I was like, I just want you to prepare yourself. I want you to be prepared. I think this is a boy. So when the gender was revealed to us, I was shocked to find out. We're having another girl. We're a girl fam. We're giving a little baby sister to my daughter. I'm so excited. With my first pregnancy, I did want a girl. Like, if I was being very honest, I was kind of like wanting it to be a girl. With this second one, I'm very serious when I'm saying like I would have been perfectly happy either way. If I was leaning any way, it was girl because I didn't want my husband to be disappointed. But I was actually pretty shocked when we found out it was a girl. I'm super excited. I think it makes logistically things a little bit easier. Like, the girls can share clothes and hopefully down the road they can share room and things like that. But I'm just hoping that they can be little besties and get along. I don't have any expectations on that. I'm not putting pressure on it, especially in the beginning, but it is just a really sweet thing to imagine. I have a sister who's 23 months older than me. We have just a sweet relationship that I really treasure, and I hope that they can have that too. And man, we're just feeling super blessed, super excited about this next season with our 2 girls. One thing I want to start doing, there are like little things that I'm acquiring, whether it's in my like toolbox for labor, things that are helping me feel more comfortable in my pregnancy or things like that. So each video, I'm going to chat about something that I've either like purchased or acquired that is really just giving me life in this season. Because it's been a full 10 weeks since I've done one of these, I'm going to do 2. The first one is this unitard onesie. It's like a maternity onesie. And I was hesitant because I'm 5'3" and these things just don't feel like they're made for me. And I feel like you have to be just like limbs and bump to really rock something like this. And maybe that's still true, but maybe I just don't care anymore. This is such an easy thing to put on. I am embarrassed to say I think I've worn this every day for like 5 days now. So maybe I need to change it up a little bit there. It's kind of like conceptually a bump suit, but it's not by the brand bump suit. The brand who made this is called Year of Hours. I'll type that out. It's just been a game changer. I have like a nice flowy top I can put over it. I can wear a sweatshirt around my waist when I'm on a walk with the dog and the baby. There's just so many different ways that you can utilize something like this. Just been a game changer for sure. And the other thing is my exercise ball. You don't have one yet and you're pregnant. I'm just gonna go ahead and say you need to get one. I lived on mine during my first pregnancy. My chiropractor was like, this is not just for the end of pregnancy. Like, it will help with a myriad of things if you start sitting on it earlier on. So we can get into this if you want in another video, but I was told earlier on in my first pregnancy not to lounge, like not to lean back as a relaxation thing anymore. So on the couch or even in the car, like to like have my seat leaned back. The ball became my seat basically. Like, I would watch TV on it, and now with my daughter, I'll just like sit on it in the middle of the room and we'll just like play together, but I'm mostly sitting on my exercise ball. And I will say it helps so much with my joint pain, with my pelvic pain, with my sciatic pain. And It also helps my mentality because I don't have to like keep myself in check. I don't have to constantly be like, am I lounging? Am I slouching? You can't on an exercise ball. You really can't. So that helps a lot. It's stabilizing your core in general at all times, which is really helpful just passively to always be doing that. I think for my brain, it's really nice to just be like, I know that I'm doing something that is slowly but surely preparing my body for labor. So for that reason, for those many reasons, I would say you need to get yourself an exercise ball, not at the end of your pregnancy, like as at least by 32 weeks. But I mean, I've been rocking this one since maybe at like 16 weeks. And by then I was actually like, I could feel that I needed it. I was like, I need my exercise ball to sit on. So it is just one of those, it just feels like a game changer. Anyway, that's what we've got for this video. 17 to 26. I am 27 weeks as of yesterday. We are making our way through this pregnancy. And next time I see you, I'm sure we'll have some more fun stuff to chat about. But the most fun thing being we're having baby girl number 2. So thrilling. All right, I'll see y'all next time.